Hey, what's up? Hello, my name is Emma, and today I'm going to be telling you guys all about my shenanigans at Bookcon 2015. So about 2 weeks ago, I went to Bookcon, obviously. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of it. It's this fairly new book convention that's been happening in New York City for the past 2 years now. I do have a similar video to this that I posted 1 year ago for last year's Bookcon, and if you want to see that, it's going to be in the description link below, but it is a totally different experience from the Bookcon that I had this year, and I mean that in the best way possible. So the original plan for Bookcon didn't exactly happen the way we planned it to. I was originally going with Kelly from Kelly's BookSpill and Sarah from Sarah's World, her sister, and they were going to be driving up from Alabama. They were going to pick up Jake from Jake Wenzel, and then they were going to pick me up, and we were going to take the train together, and we had this whole schedule of all the authors and panels we were going to go to and stuff. So it's Saturday morning, it's like 6 a.m. Kelly is still like 4 hours away from me, and so I suggested that I just go, that way I can hold her place in line and I can get her extra books and stuff. So I ended up going much earlier than Kelly, and so I got to the convention center around 9 o'clock, and I met up with Michael from Michael Book Lion. We were just sitting there just chilling. We were going to wait online for the Word Bookstore to open, because for a lot of the signings this year, you had to actually buy a book at Bookcon for them to sign it. One of the coolest things that happened at Bookcon happened the second I walked into the convention center. I got recognized by, I believe it is Bit of Books, and he said hi to me, and all of a sudden I was so caught off guard because I've never been recognized before. I was like, oh my god, hi. And so after that, I was talking to Mike and Anna from Unquenchable Reads. We were just chilling, waiting for the Word Bookstore to open. I went over to Bit of Books later. We had a nice little discussion, but it was super awesome to get recognized like the second I walked into the convention center. So it's 10 o'clock, the Word Bookstore opens, the show floor opens, and it is literally Bookcon 2014 again with all the disorganization. So they shooed me and Mike upstairs, and we were just chilling there for a bit. One of the first things we did do was Mike heard that there was going to be an ARC being given away, and that ARC is Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I don't know anything about this book. I don't think Mike does either, but like free books, obviously. It looks super cool, and you'll probably find this on everybody's haul, because everyone got a copy if they went to Bookcon. But it looks like a super cool book, so I'm glad we got it, and I got an extra copy for Kelly when she got there. And so after we got Illuminae, me and Mike just kind of walked around for a bit, saw all the different booths. They weren't really giving away anything special. But we went and we met up with Ben from Bangity Bangs, Jeff from Sticula, we met up with Carla from Books and Other Nerdy Things, and then we had the big booktubers like Kat from Katie Tastic, Christine from Pillow Man and His Books, Jesse from Jesse the Reader, and Reagan from Peruse Project. Now all four of them kind of got swarmed the second they walked in, so they were all taking pictures. We were just chilling there, and when one could get away, we kind of like pulled them away from the photo line, and we're just talking and stuff, and it was really nice. For those of you who don't know, Jeff actually has a book being published, and it's coming out on July 9th, I believe, and it is called Progeny of Gods. Isn't this cover freaking awesome, guys? Like, look at this. This is an ARC, and it looks like a final copy. It's awesome. But I will be talking more about this book in my May book haul and wrap-up. But he gave me a free ARC of it, and I'll probably be reviewing this at some point, but it was super awesome for him to give me a copy of his book. I really wasn't expecting it, but just a super cool guy, so I'm assuming this is going to be a super cool book. And so in that area, like, people were recognizing me, people were recognizing Ben, people were recognizing Michael. Like, it was just this whole big photo op, and it was like the greatest experience. My heart like stopped anytime anyone would come up to me. It was like, oh my god, you're Emma from Emmabooks, I love your videos, can I get a picture? Super, super overwhelming experience. And so we kind of just stood there basically in front of the front door for like 2 hours while everyone took pictures. And then me, Mike, Carla, Ben, Jeff, and Kat all went out to lunch. Kat, Christine, and Reagan were there too, but they were like super exhausted, so like they were just chilling on their own, but we had a really nice lunch together. It was a lot of fun, and then we started walking back towards the convention center because Kelly was almost here. Forgot to say, Kelly didn't get to Bookcon until like 12 noon, and so it wasn't like she missed much. We were just hanging out, but we went back to the convention center. We sat there for like another 2 hours just sitting and talking and hanging out. You know, Kat got recognized a few more times, I got recognized a few more times, and you know, it was just like a really nice experience just being surrounded by all of this and just chilling with a couple of friends. It was really, really great. We honestly did not do much while the convention was happening. Like, we didn't get any books signed, we didn't go on any panels, we just kind of chilled. But I kind of prefer that because the lines are super long and the people are super crazy and Bookcon has no idea what it's doing. So it was really nice to just sit with a nice group of people and like finally meet all of my Booktube friends. It was a really great experience. And so around like, I believe it was maybe like 4 o'clock-ish, we decided we were going to leave and we were going to go to the Strand. I live in New York. I live 30 minutes from New York City, and I've never been to the Strand. What? But I wasn't the only one that's ever been to the Strand, and if you don't know, the Strand is like the super famous bookstore in New York City. It's got a bunch of different levels. It's got this whole rare books room. It's basically the coolest place on the planet. And so the same group that we went to lunch with and basically spent all day with, and now Kelly, Sarah, and Jake, we all went to the Strand. It was super, super awesome. A lot of them have never been on the subway before. I think it was just me and Mike and maybe Jeff. So just watching all these people on the subway freaking out because we're super busy, it was great. It was like such a memory. But we took the subway to the Strand, and we went to the Strand, and it was awesome. Surprisingly, I only bought one book at the Strand because I was already carrying around 3 because I thought I was going to meet authors, but we all know that didn't happen. But in my May book haul and wrap up, again, you will see that I recently bought the Vampire Academy box set. So I bought the normal Vampire Academy cover because it was only $8 and it was there, and you know, it was kind of like destiny. It was like, I need this book in my life. But the Strand was super cool. We spent a lot of time there just chilling, just walking around, looking at all the books. It was a super, super cool experience, and if you go to New York City, you have to go to the Strand. And then we went out to dinner with all the same people again, and we got this place called, it was kind of like Panera, but it was really good. And while we were there, Kat let us know that there was going to be a different signing. I don't think it had anything to do with Bookcon, but it might have just been an off-site signing. But it was going to be with Marie Lu and Sabaa Tahir and Rochelle Mead and like another author or two at this really nice little bookstore in Soho. So we decided that we were going to pack up and go there. Super, super long walk. We did a lot of walking on Saturday. It was ridiculous. But we went there, and they were doing a bit of a Q&A or a panel, and we got there right at the end when they were starting the signings. I didn't really think I was going to get anything signed, but I had really wanted to meet Rochelle Mead at Bookcon. Didn't get a chance to, but there she was. It was like destiny that I just bought Vampire Academy, and now I'm going to meet her. So I met Rochelle Mead, and she signed my Vampire Academy book, and I'm super happy because I love, love, love Vampire Academy. I've only read the first book, but I know I'm going to love this series because I'm so obsessed with it now. But it was just total destiny that like I bought the book right before I met her, and like I didn't buy it so she could sign it. It was destiny that we could meet. And then I spontaneously decided to buy an Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir because she was there, and I've heard so much about this book, so she signed it. I felt super awkward going up to meet an author that I've never read from before, but she was super cool, super funny, and she actually had a copy of her book that she was having people sign, so like if she signed your book, you had to sign hers, and I thought that was the coolest idea. But she was super sweet and super funny, and I'm definitely more excited to read this book now that I met her because I wasn't really planning on it beforehand. But I'm really happy that it's given me this little push to start it. And then that was basically the end of Saturday. Again, we didn't do much. We just kind of hung out and joked around, and it was so, so much fun. Last year, I spent all day online and in panels and meeting authors, and while that is really awesome in itself, it really doesn't compare to the memories that I made with these people. And so then me, Kelly, Jake, and Sarah, we drove out of the city because Kelly had to drive to New York City rather than taking the train like we originally planned. Pain in the ass getting out of New York City. It took us like 2 hours. But we finally made it back to the hotel, and like I just crashed right away. And then we woke up and it was Sunday at Bookcon. Sunday at Bookcon a little less happened, which I was really expecting because it was shorter and there were less people there, like less authors and stuff. So we got there and we meet up with Michael again when we get there at like 9 o'clock. We were trying to get a signing, but it closed like immediately, which is super, super stupid. But Michael was like, I'm on the line for the YouTuber panel. Do you want to join me? So we ended up getting into the YouTuber panel where it was all the YouTubers who would become authors after writing their own books. It was interesting, to say the least. A lot of screaming girls. Don't know why people think it's a good idea to scream every time somebody talks when you're like going to listen to them talk. It doesn't make sense to me. Here's a clip. But yeah, we ended up leaving early just because it was like ridiculous and you couldn't even hear anything it was saying. But it was really cool and it made me want to read a lot of the YouTubers' books that I wasn't planning on picking up before. So I'm glad we went. And then after that, it was like 12 o'clock-ish, I think. Or it was like 11 o'clock. I don't really know. We were online for that YouTube panel for forever. We were probably there for like an hour and then the panel was an hour. But after that, we went and got lunch. And so then all of us that were already together, Carla met up with us. We met up with Arthur from Chapter Select. And then Ben and Jeff came along. And Ben had to leave like right away. He kind of just came to say goodbye. But that was really nice because I was super glad to meet him. And so then, however many of us were left over, we just sat, we ate lunch, and we hung out a bit. Still getting recognized on day 2, and it's still ridiculous to me. Like, where are you people coming from? But then we decided we were going to start the line for the Booktube panel, which was the main focus of Sunday, was to go and to see Kat, Jessie, and Christine talk about Booktube and stuff, and then go to their meetup. So that was like our main goal for Sunday. And so we got there like an hour early. People started lining up like right after we did. We met a couple other people, like I met Sam from Thoughts on Tomes. We were hanging out with a couple of other people that I had met the day before, like Bryn from Bryn's Bookshelf and Danielle from Simply Thoughtful Books. And then, you know, this big mass of us were just sitting down together. We took up like 2 rows of just us. And we watched the panel, and the panel went really, really well. I'm super happy for all of them because they were all so nervous. But it looked like they had a good time answering all of the questions. The questions were really good. They had really good answers. And it was totally worth going to. Oh, and I totally forgot to mention that Tiernan from the Booktuber went out to lunch with us too. And then he was sitting with us while we were online because he had to go really quickly. But it was super awesome seeing Tiernan again because I met him last year at Bookcon. So the whole mass of us was just sitting around like the back of the line because we thought that, you know, we'd probably get longer to talk to them because we hung out with them all day yesterday. So we get to the front of the line and Kat's like, are you guys really waiting on this line? But I'm glad we did because that was the last time we got to see them before we were all leaving. So we got this big massive group picture, which is what I really wanted, and it turned out great. And so then after that, you know, we said goodbye. We'll see each other at VidCon because all of us are going to VidCon. It's going to be great. But then it started pouring, and there were like flash flood warnings everywhere, and there's literally water seeping into Convention Center while we're taking pictures with everyone. It was really ridiculous. But honestly, just walking back to Penn Station with everyone was really cool. It was pouring rain, and like we didn't even care just because we were spending time with each other, and it was a lot of fun in my opinion. I know everyone else didn't like it, but I had a lot of fun. And then we all parted ways, and it was really sad because I loved spending all weekend with these people. And then Jake took his train back to Pennsylvania, and then Kelly and Sarah came back because they had to drop me off, and they changed and stuff, and then they go. And that's basically the end of Bookcon, but I forgot a few more things, so I gotta show you those. First of all, as we walked into the convention center on Saturday, we got this Epic Reads tote bag, and on the back it says Book Shimmy, if you guys know Epic Reads, and I just had everyone that I hung out with all weekend sign it, so like Kelly and Michael and Arthur and Sarah, and then Jeff. And then on the back is Kat and Jessie and Tiernan and Christine and Rayan. Everyone signed it, and you know, I don't know, it was cool because it's not like it was an autograph like last year. Like this year it was just like, I spent this whole weekend with you guys and I want to remember it. So that was really cool. And then I also got this tote bag that says Cassandra Clare Shadowhunters and has the angelic rune on it. Obviously had to get it. And then it just says all of the series and the novella series on the back, and it's a super cool tote. And then speaking of Shadowhunters, there were people dressed up in the convention center, and they had on these t-shirts and they had runes all over them, and I swear they hired people to look like the cast because there was a redhead, there was a blonde boy, there's a girl with very long hair that was black, and then there was an Asian, and they totally looked like the cast of Shadowhunters. So I think they did it on purpose. But they were giving out rune tattoos, so I got a few of those, and I showed them that I have an actual rune tattooed on me. And then this girl was like, oh my god, let me get a picture of you all together. Like, that's dedication. Of course it is. And she was like, oh, I have something special for you. And she gave me the Shadowhunters t-shirt, which is super cool. I'm very excited to wear this because it's my own special shirt, and they weren't just giving that to everyone, so it makes that really special. Every single year I get something really cool that has to do with Shadowhunters, so it's pretty awesome. Bookcon map, and it has like all of the information from this year in it. I also got these Scorch Trials buttons, and there's one that says Glitter, there's one that says Wicked is Good, there's one that says Shuck It, and there's one that says Survive the Scorch. And I'm super excited for the Scorch Trials movie, so getting these pins was cool. I think that's basically my haul. Like, it's super unimpressive, but I think I got a lot of awesome stuff. And then a few things that are not directly related to Bookcon, but they happened because of Bookcon. The Friday before, Michael Bookline came over my house and we filmed a few collabs. So I'm going to link both of those below. There's one on my channel and one on his. And then on Sunday night, Kelly and Sarah were supposed to drive all the way back to Alabama to make it to work on Monday, but their car broke down in New Jersey, so they ended up staying with me for 2 whole days, which, you know, it sucks because they missed work and stuff, but it was awesome because I got to hang out and spend more time with them, just opposed to just hanging out at the the convention center. So we actually filmed 3 collabs. We filmed one on my channel, one on Kelly's, and one on Sarah's, and all 3 of those will be linked down below. I had so much fun filming these collabs, and I'm super thankful for Bookcon because they all kind of came from Bookcon. But that is basically my Bookcon experience. I know it sounds like I didn't do a lot, but I really had an amazing Bookcon. I don't want to say it was better than last year, but I don't want to say it was worse because the 2 experiences are so different. You know, I have one year where I met my favorite author and another one of my favorite authors, and I got to all of these panels and I got so many books signed. And then I have this year where I didn't do any of that. Well, I did a little bit of the signings and stuff, but I'm just hanging out with these people that I've come to love so much from this website, and I'm hanging out with the people that last year I was fangirling meeting over, and this year it's no big deal. You know, it went from being subscriber to YouTuber, and now it's not even YouTuber to YouTuber. It's more like friend to friend, which is something that is much more important to me than just getting a signature from an author and speaking to them for 5 minutes. So the experiences I made at Bookcon 2015 are really, really amazing, and I'm super, super content with the way the weekend went, even though it wasn't exactly as planned. Thank you so much to anyone who came up to me and took a picture or just even said they love my channel. It really meant the world to me. So many more people than I had expected actually did all of that, and I know I didn't talk a lot about it in the video because I want to save it for the end, but it means so much to me. I'm like really overwhelmed. I have all the pictures saved on my computer and I'm never letting them go because it was just the most ridiculous experience. Oh my god, that's all I can say is just that it was ridiculous and amazing and overwhelming, and thank you guys. So be sure that if you see me at VidCon, which I am definitely going to, make sure you come and say hi. Like, you guys think you're excited about meeting me, I'm more excited about meeting you. And that's the truth. But so thank you to everyone who made my BookCon a really, really amazing experience. But to anyone who went to BookCon, I hope you had as great an experience as I did. And please share in the comments below if you met anyone, what panels you saw, what your favorite parts were, because BookCon was freaking awesome. And I know I'm not the only one it was awesome for. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you soon for a new one. Bye!